Yo, buenos dias, guys. Welcome back to another video. It's time to make another tier list to keep my people updated on what's the best decks on Master Duel. We've done this before on TCG, and now it's time for Master Duel to see like what decks are currently dominating and what decks to watch out for. Okay, so stay tuned and pay attention. I'll try to be on as much as I possibly can to be unbiased, but warning, I might not help myself sometimes and then spit out some stupid shit, but you guys are warned. Okay, it's gonna happen. All right, let's check out. We got a couple decks. I got 20 decks over here, and we're gonna rate every single one of them. Let's start with the most obvious one, the tier elements. Okay, we all know, we are hating this deck so much. We are getting our ass clapped, shit. We're getting our ass beaten with this almost every third or second duel. Obviously this deck is top tier. Okay, not only it's strong going first, but it's also strong going second. If you catch them on their best, then they probably OTK you already on your turn. So this is really shit. This is really scheiße. Okay. Yeah, nothing much to add to this match. This deck does not lose against single hand traps, only Shifter. Shifter is one thing that completely takes out this deck. But unfortunately, there are not that many decks that can OTK on the Shifter, so they're probably gonna have another turn to survive. And yeah, so this is the reason why this deck is dominating most. Even though Shifter is the biggest enemy, if you cannot OTK him on the Shifter, they're gonna take advantage of that, and then next turn start from all new. Alright, let's put this on top S, but yeah. Alright, next up we have Duel. Duel just came into Master Duel a couple days ago. It already got hit. They already banned Silver, and yeah, that's just takes out their their hand loop. I mean, they didn't even get the chance to do their hand loops. They immediately banned it. Okay, but they didn't do it with Telements. Telements still is, they hit some Shizu cards, but the deck is still dominating. And Dark World, they didn't even get to shine, man. Like literally, they just came and disappeared at the same minute. That is so sad, so unfortunate. And in this format, where Shifter is being played, where Bestials are being played, and Shizu cards are being played, unfortunately, Dark World is down here. I'm sorry, man. I like this archetype, but in Master Duel, right now it sucks. In TCG, it's better to play Dark World than in actually Master Duel, though. Like, if you don't want to get those headaches, then don't even start playing this deck, man. Alright, next up, we got Sword Soul. Sword Soul is a deck that will, in every format, every meta, this deck is always going to be solid. You will be able to play this deck, and you're gonna have fun playing this deck. But it's never going to dominate the format, never ever, unfortunately. So it's always gonna be like B. Okay, it can play well, okay, on the Shifter, and it can play through multiple interruptions. And yeah, that's why this deck is always gonna be relevant. Next up, we have Sky Striker, and with the addition of Bestials, Sky Striker is not as, like, people don't like to play this deck anymore because 1-2 Bestials and taking away your race from the graveyard just completely kills this deck, to be honest. And this is also a reason why in the tier format no one plays Sky Striker. Like, and I'm talking about in TCG or OCG back then, almost no one played Sky Striker, and this is the same thing that happened now in Master. As long as Bestials are going to be mained because of Telements, decks like Dark World or Sky Striker, yeah, they just get hit even worse with it. So fortunately, I gotta put it on C. But if you're not playing like a Telement deck or a deck that is like relevant for this meta, then better watch out against Sky Striker, okay? Well, right now I'm doing this list based on the meta, based on the format, and therefore I cannot put it higher than. You can put it in B maybe, but also in my opinion is even better than Sky Striker right now, so I can't put it in the same column here. So yeah, I'm sorry. Next up, we have Flunderies, and Flunderies is a deck that got hit so many times, more than this deck got hit more than Telements, but it's still somehow menacing for some people. Yeah, it's so unfortunate now with hitting the, I forgot the spell card that searches for field spell. Now since this card got also hit, this deck just gets worse and worse and worse. Obviously for us Blackwing players, this deck has never been an issue, okay, obviously, but against Elements this is still their arch enemy. And in general, a deck that can play under Shift is always going to be great, okay, but just not good against Blackwings, obviously. So I gotta put Flunder after they got hit on the, and it was supposed to be like somewhere around here, okay. I'm not talking about matchup wise against Blackwings, but it could have been somewhere around here in this format. But after getting hit so bad, this deck unfortunately is now at B. But if you start with Shifter, then it becomes A. But after getting hit so bad, I can't really put it over it. It's hard, man. I'm probably gonna get roasted for this, but I'm gonna put it at B. But yeah. Next up, we have Punk. Punk is a deck. You gotta see it that way, okay? People know what to Ash. The fusion monster that gets summoned, I forgot his name. Is this the same one on that you can see like here? If you hit this one with an Ash, you basically win the game. And in the Master Duel, everyone is maining Ash. Everyone. So you always have to expect Ash. And if your deck loses against a simple Ash, then it might not be as good as you think, man. I'm sorry. Okay, if you it's the same thing. I'm gonna talk about Brandon in a couple minutes, but if you lose against a simple Ash, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. But if you don't have an Ash, even on the Shifter, it can somehow play well, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played that much against, but let's put it at C, okay? Let's put it at C, respectfully. Next up, we have Heroes, and Heroes is a deck, man. Obviously on the Shifter, it sucks, but if it goes first and you can summon Dark Law and whatsoever, man, this deck can be insane with Angel and whatsoever. This deck can actually be insane, man. So I gotta put some respect on Heroes, man. Okay, let's put him on B, because some people just don't know where to interrupt in this deck. Okay, some people don't, and if you don't expect this deck can catch you off guard, man, honestly. So respectfully, B. Okay, respectfully. Next up, we have Dynamorphia, and Dynamorphia in TCG OCG honestly sucks, because you all eventually gonna get in a time situation, and Dynamorphia in time is just instant lose. Okay, but in Master Duel, we don't really have play in time. Okay, there's only one game. If you win it, you won the game, and it can lose against like evenly and all of these and that. And right now, since Labyrinth came, people start to play more evenly, so it can get really bad. It can get really bad. Okay, but if you don't get hit with evenly, then this deck is also something to watch out for. I just cannot put it on the same like Sword Soul and whatever, but you can play this deck. You can play this deck, okay? But you shouldn't. But you can play it. But maybe you shouldn't. But you can play it. Okay. Next up, we got Dinosaurs, man. Dinosaurs, if they go first, man, I believe in the future they're going to be even better. In Master Duel, right now, it's like, I mean, they can just book all your monsters, and sometimes this is already GG. So if this deck goes first, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So yeah, I want to put like somewhere here, man. It's hard, really hard. Let's put it. God damn. Because I got a lot of respect for this deck, man. Honestly, I have a lot of respect for this deck. And now with Labyrinth and all this deck can actually do something, man. You respectfully it be, okay, respectfully. Okay, some of you might not agree with that, but we're gonna put it over there. Next up, we got Sprites, and people play this also with Melfi, and this deck is just watch out, man, watch out. This deck can play through multiple interruptions. One Ash is usually not enough, and it can also play on the shifter really well. It's gonna survive at least 1-2 turns on the shifter, so this deck, be careful, man, and be careful for having the pixies in the hand, man. Sometimes those pixies came in clutch and then can catch you off guard, so yeah, respect this deck, definitely respect it. Alright, next up, we have Goaty. And Goaty is a deck, man, if people actually take time and spend some time, invest some time, and like just try to make this deck more competitive, I believe, like if people actually would try, at least try, give this deck a try, it can be really good. It can be really good because first of all, in the format where Telemint is being played and you can play on the shifter, then you should play shifter and you should play this deck, and you're gonna beat a lot of Telemint players with this deck, honestly. It's just that it's hard, man. I honestly don't have that much experience with this deck. I just know that people first of all have no idea how to interrupt against this deck. No idea. If you master this deck, bro, if you master this deck, it can literally dominate games for games. Because like I said, no one knows what to do. It can play it plays shifter main, okay, it does play shifter, and it's just insane. This card is actually insane. This deck can be actually insane. I feel like the potential is high. And yeah, man. Yeah, let's put this on B. Okay. Next up, we have this runic 4 higher deck, and in my opinion, like I said, if your deck loses against a simple Ash, and if you just Ash the Rex, they rely on the runic cards. So I can't put this deck like up here. Okay, we're gonna put it at C. But honestly, I'm gonna put it at D because in my opinion, like it's the worst runic deck that you can play. In my opinion, okay, I might get roasted for this, but in Master Duel, I'm not talking about general. I feel like in Master Duel, it's not the best deck to play because, like I said, you always have to expect at least one Ash. And if you cannot start with your Sprite engine to summon red and whatsoever to protect the Ash or Rex, then it can be gone like this. And yeah. Alright. Next up, we have... what do we have? We got some Dragon Links, man. Dragon Link is actually a pretty good deck because it can play a lot of Bestials. And it has a good matchup. I mean, obviously... it relies on their graveyard, so on the shifter this deck doesn't do anything. But it can shine in certain situations. Okay, this deck, you should not underestimate it. It can shine in certain situations. It can play through multiple interruptions. Doesn't lose against a simple Ash. So yeah, man, don't underestimate Dragon Link. Dragon Link is definitely we can actually argue to put it also on A, to be honest. But it's hard. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it between A and B. Because once they get out their tower monster, their ball land, it's cake. Okay? It depends on, man. Like, oh man, you know what? Let's fuck it. We're gonna put it to A. Next up, we have Rika. And Rika is just gonna get better and better from format to format, especially once Telemint is gone. Because this deck doesn't, like I said, on the shifter, and if you shuffle back your cards, it's gonna be tough. But Rika is something, it's a deck to watch out for, okay? I'm gonna say it like this. Yeah, we can keep it like this, it's fine. Next up, we got Generators. Generators just beat the shit out of me in my last stream, so I gotta give him actually some some respect. And the thing is, like, the ace monster, I think it's called Har or something like that. It can negate multiple times a turn monster effect, and that is huge. Okay, if that goes first, it's cake. If it goes second, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Okay, but don't also deck to not underestimate it. I did underestimate it, and I literally kicked my ass. So I don't know what to do with this, but put it. God damn it. Put it at fuck. Can't put it at B, man. Put it at C, respectfully. Okay, next up we got Evil Twin Sprite Runic Munix. Well, the problem is, like I said, in tier format, a lot of good decks ultimately became really bad because of Ishizu cards. But now Ishizu cards got limited to 1, Keldu, Mudoros, and whatsoever. So this deck is gonna become better. And yeah, man, I mean, definitely a good deck. Definitely. Put A. And then we also have Labyrinth. Labyrinth is now in a best of 1 match game. This deck is really scary. Really scary, because I've seen now a lot of Labyrinth players maining Dimensional Barrier. If they just know what you're playing and change the Dimensional Barrier, it can be over like this, and they can search for Labyrinth, for the Dimensional Barrier. So this is a deck to really watch out for, man. Really watch out for. Next up, we have Exorcisters, and Exorcisters is right now like the Kashtira of Master Duel, and it also dominating right now tournaments on Master Duel. So we gotta put it at least at A, at least, because it's right now the worst matchup against tournaments, because Flunder got hit so bad. It's not their arch enemy anymore, but Exorcist is something to really watch out for, man. Really, it's a great deck for sure. But at the end of the day, don't forget, it's just Kashtira of Wish. So once Kashtira comes, this deck is gonna go down here. But as long as Kashtira is not here yet, we're gonna stay at A. Next, we got the Brandeds, and Branded is actually a deck that is supposed to dominate games and whatsoever, but in TCG, I have it currently on A in TCG. But in OCG, in Master Duel, this deck cannot survive shit. Why? I'm gonna give you some explanation. First of all, everyone is playing main Ashe. You have to play Ashe, okay? Because everyone is scared of Max C, not against Branded Fusion, but against Max C. So you always have to expect one Branded Fusion, okay? And this deck loses against one Ashe just like that. And then if you don't have an Ashe, you're probably gonna have some Bistiots, and Bistiots also hurt this deck a lot, especially if you just banish like their Albion in the graveyard for the end phase effect. And yeah, man, just Bistiots can also put this deck in a bad situation. So I can't put it like in TCG. It would be an A, but unfortunately it's in B in Master Duel. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate and roast for that, but you gotta understand, man, if your deck loses against a simple Ashe, and in a format like this where Max Cs are being mained, and you have to expect, I mean, there's a reason why in OCG you don't see a lot of Branded players top, because like I said, everyone is playing Ashe. You always have to expect Ashe, because if you don't Ashe like Max C or something like this, it's over. It's over. And now, last but not least, the best deck, Blackwings, obviously. So let me explain to you why Blackwing is so good, okay? for Master Duel. We start off with full Armor Master, okay? Full Armor Master against Telements. Usually if you summon full Armor Master, you also have Shanga in the graveyard. And if you just pop their one-off planet and have Armor Master in defense position, there's nothing that Telements can do. Some play Gruffa, some play Goddess, okay, I understand. But first of all, you can on the Shifter do full Armor Master, Flunder and Exorcister. Flunder ultimately lose against full Armor Master, but Exorcister, there might be situations where they'll be able to boost their monsters and then run over him. But if you have Chinook and Shanga, which you usually do if you play with only one full Armor Master, you automatically win against almost every deck here. Almost every deck. The only bad matchup that you have with Blackwings is Bistiots, because they play a lot of Dragonlink, because they play a lot of Bistiots and they have high attack monsters. And Sprite is also scary. But besides that, there are not a lot of decks that can stop Blackwings, and like its full Armor Master is something that you always get out. Like if you get interrupted a million times, you're always gonna end up on full Armor Master at least. And this is why I believe like people sleep on Blackwings, but it's literally it can literally dominate the games. Literally. You guys saw me beating the shit out of people, going first, going second, doesn't matter. And sometimes all I need is just one full Armor Master. And if you're going first and you play Kali Yuga, bro, you might even win against Max C thanks to Kali Yuga. And there's not a lot of decks where you can say that. So I want to put it in A. Well, my heart says S. But Blackwings and Telements is obviously not the same category. So Telements is just something different. They are like tier 0. And obviously Blackwings are not tier 0. So I gotta put them at A, sorry. I'm gonna put them over here. Okay, I'm gonna put them over here somewhere. Depends on, like, here. Here's something like here. Okay, respectfully. But, oh yeah, and also against Labyrinth. Full Armor Master. You saw on my last stream, the dude had to hack my PC, my internet connection, to disconnect me to win that game. Otherwise, there was nothing he could have done against 2 full Armor Masters. Nothing. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Okay. Alright, guys. Please, don't hate me too much, okay? Don't hate me too much. I might have been a little bit biased. I might have. Okay, so yeah, let me know. Give me some feedback what you guys think about this tier list. And if you disagree, then let me also know why you disagree, okay? That's also really important while giving me a feedback. Let me know why. Don't just comment bad list and then never respond ever again. Let me know why, okay? And like I said, man, I love feedbacks. If you have anything to say, like I might even agree with you and then apologize for my opinion and whatever I said. Like, I'm that type of person. I don't feel ashamed of agreeing or saying that I was wrong or right or whatever. It's like I honestly don't give a fuck. All I care is just Blackwings beating nothing else. Like, honestly, I only care about Blackwings. So let me know what you guys think, okay? And yeah, man, that's it, man. That's my tier list for Master Duel. I love y'all. Please take care of yourself and stay tuned, man. Okay? Alright. Peace.